Hello everybody, welcome back to the SES Arcade. I'm your host Scorpio Caesar, and of course today we got an unboxing for another Sega console. Now if you haven't seen my recent video game hunt video where I took a tour of the video game store in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, then definitely check that out. It'll be popping up here on the top right hand corner of your screen, as well as a link to it in the description, and of course at the end card towards the end of the video. So yeah, you can check that video out, and if you've seen that video, you already know that I picked up one of these beautiful little things. Yes, the Sega Dreamcast in 2022. And honestly, I don't regret it one bit. I've been having a lot of fun collecting for this thing. And it's funny, here in 2022, people are struggling to get Xbox Series X or even the PS5 or maybe even Switch OLED or something. And over here, like, I'm just buying Dreamcast stuff at this point. So, I mean, it's not the easiest system to collect for, but we're going to save that for another video because there's a lot I want to talk about of the Dreamcast so far, like 1 month later. And as you can see behind me, I have a pretty decent collection already built up in a matter of a month. So yeah, we're going to talk about the Sega Dreamcast in another video. That's not what we're talking about today, but it's going to be over here to keep me company because today I bring to you a box. I don't know, I'm kind of going crazy right now. I think it has something to do with finding one of these CRT TVs back at my job. Somebody threw out. It's a Sony Trinitron, and once I brought that heavy bastard home, I plugged in my N64, I plugged in my PlayStation 2, and wow, it's like night and day compared to like trying to put those with composite cables on a modern day 65-inch 4K TV. So I get it now. I finally get it. And I did a little research and I found a Instagram account that I've been following for a while called Retro Gaming Zone. And this comes from him. He does a bunch of like claim sales. So basically he'll post like sales that he has on his Instagram account. And of course that'll be in the description down below as well. Every once in a while he'll do these sales. And all you gotta do is post claim before anybody else. And if you do, he'll contact you, and this is basically what that is. I finally got to get something from him, and this is going to be very cool because this is something that I've wanted for a long time as a kid. Now, you probably think I'm crazy at this point, and it's understandable. I think I'm quite crazy too at this point. Losing my marbles when it comes to buying all this stuff now in 2022 when collecting for retro consoles is not easy. So this comes from his personal collection, he said, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. Alright, so we have the power cable and the composite cables for this system, and well, there's the controller. Take a look at that after, but I want to take a look at this first because oh, that's my address, but oh well. Right on. We got some paper that we don't need. Look at this. This is sealed up really well, okay? This is he did a really good job when it came to sealing this up. There's nothing else in that box. And shipped this guy out quick, by the way. Yeah. This is really packed very well. Okay. Alright. It's out. Here it is. This is the Model 2 US Sega Saturn. That's right. This crazy old bastard bought a Sega Saturn, one of the hardest consoles to collect for in this day and age in 2022. Why? Because, well, I remember back in the late 90s, I used to watch a ton of TV and cartoons, anime, and all that good stuff. And, you know, I remember seeing ads for this thing. And I'm just like, well, that's pretty cool. But Sega consoles, you know, we were a Nintendo, basically. just Nintendo and a Sony household. We never owned any Sega consoles. They were never really part of the conversation. And I finally have a Sega Saturn of my own. And this is really cool to actually have one now. And I don't know what else to say. It's a Sega Saturn, and it's gonna look nice on that CRT TV. Now I know there are ways to hook this up with cables, RGB SCART cables, and a retro tank to make it look nice on a modern day television. I'm not planning on doing that right away. I'm just gonna stick with composite like I have been for the Dreamcast. Granted, I just got the Gecko box from the Bahar Bros for the Sega Dreamcast, so that's gonna look even better now. It's a little harder to do. You have to go through cables, and there's always ways to go about it. I do want to get an M Classic at some point for the Dreamcast and some of my other consoles, but for now this is going to stick mainly with composite. And this is really cool, man, to actually have a Sega Saturn. Wow. Now granted, there are different models of the Sega Saturn. There's the Model 1, there's the Model 2, there's the Japanese colored models. I do prefer the original Japanese one, which is kind of like a gray, and it's got like purple buttons on it. And that's kind of like the launch model for the Sega Saturn over there in Japan. Me, however, I saw this, it was only like $139, claimed it, and I got it. And, I know it's a hard system to collect for. There are a lot of games that I've been looking at for it, and the prices are absolutely insane. At least for the NTSC versions. Granted, Japanese versions of said games are even cheaper, so I'm probably going to be buying a lot of my games for this thing due to Japan, because trying to collect for it with NTSC versions is... I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. I don't think I can afford it. I really can't. It's just ridiculous. They want $70-something for Croc on the Sega Saturn. Are you kidding me? I'm not paying that much for Croc on the Sega Saturn. No way, Jose. Maybe. Someday. I don't know. No! I'm not doing it. But yeah, so here we have it, the Sega Saturn. I'm so excited to play this because... Well, let's look at the controller, too, before I, show you what I got for it, because... Oh, looks like we got some goodies in here with the controller. Get that open. Now, Retro Gaming Zone tends to do this whenever I see him repost other people who've managed to get a successful claim purchase off him. And look at this. So I'm pulling this out, this controller. Now this is the standard Sega Saturn controller for the Model 2, which has the better D-pad compared to the original model, which it was weird. The D-pad for that thing was like concave. It was like, no, it wasn't concave. It was like a dome. Very weird. You want to know what's weirder? Actually owning a Sega Saturn and having a Sega controller here. I was never used to these buttons, but hey, it's cool. I'm really excited to have one. So yeah, this is what he threw in there as well. He's got little keychains here and a sticker. The Retro Gaming Zone. Check that out. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't, but it's there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, Retro Gaming Zone. Check him out on Instagram. Look at that. He even threw in a keychain. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm looking forward to using that. Actually, I needed some keychains, anyways, for my my car. So yeah, that's awesome. I do want to get one thing out of the way before I end this video off. I know a lot of people say that emulation is the way to go for this thing, or even backups. Panzer Dragoon Saga. Magic Knight Rayearth, I'm probably going to have to go down that route because I do want to play those games. I do want to own them somewhat physically. But, yeah, I'm not going to pay $600, $700, $900 for a freaking game at this point in my life. There is one game that I did manage to get, and I held off on making this video until I got it in the mail, and that was Nights into Dreams. This was the one game that I remember seeing the commercials of the Sega Saturn, This was the one game I remember seeing ads for. And I never played a Nights into Dreams or Nights for the Wii game. I've never owned them before. I did pick up Balan Wonderworld, but we ain't talking about that today, obviously. Nights into Dreams, I had to pick it up. I managed to get it for a decent price. I think I won this one on eBay for around 45, 47. So yeah, it comes complete. Somebody wrote their name there. Ethan Borrell. Hey, it has some personality. It obviously belonged to somebody before me. And I gotta say, the game could have been in better shape, but it's an older game. Another thing is, I do want to pick up one of those 3D controllers for the Sega Saturn, but we'll see. Those are kind of hard to come by too. Now, is it just me? Or do these cases really age the Saturn even more so? I don't know. I remember the PlayStation 1 also having cases like this for a little while. Then they switched to jewel cases, which was honestly a lot better. But there's something about the NTSC Saturn games coming in these big cases. These things never last. But this one somehow managed to stand the test of time and not break. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to hooking this up to my CRT and checking it out. Hopefully the game works, because this wasn't from Retro Gaming Zone, this was from somebody else completely on eBay. But anyways, big shout out to Retro Gaming Zone once again. Managed to get a Sega Saturn off him, and yeah, check him out on Instagram. Anyways, that's it pretty much for this video. If you have any suggestions on games that I should probably pick up that are affordable for the Sega Saturn, do let me know in the comments section below. I really do appreciate you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all very soon. Yeah. Sega Saturn 2022. Man, I must be tripping.